That we began in the ideal of mentoring to for the last couple of weeks, and we've been talking about a couple of things. One of it's called this: where are you at? It's time for a shift. And what gear are you living in? Say to somebody, what gear are you living in? Yeah, what gear are you living in? When it comes to what God is doing, you said this already, but what God is doing and what's happening in us and around us, we said you almost have to be blind to miss it, all right? We said the ideal that there's a time of shifting and moving and things happening, and between what's been happening in both in the political realm, you can see things shifting even with the Oval Office. And somebody said amen. Amen. And what's happening in the ideal here in California with the 6.2, 5.4, 7.1 earthquake, no doubt this is the season of things shifting and moving. Then we said you can see it even in the sports realm, the ideal of AB going from Pittsburgh to Oakland, and then the ideal of Odell Beckham going from New York to all the way to Cleveland. Then you see it in the NBA with the big shift that was going on there. And then you got to find out that my man AD is on his way down to LA, and then all of a sudden Kawhi shook everybody up all over LA. They don't know what to do with themselves because he done shifted all the way into the Clippers. And they're actually going to have a real team this year. Yeah. Anyway, so things are shifting and things are moving around us and for us, and through the processes of all these things. Somebody say amen. Amen. Not only that, but we also found out that in the ideal, sometimes in the middle of the year, is one of the best times to make do introspection and evaluation of your own life to see whether you are really moving or not. Say, I'm moving. I'm moving. And I'm moving for real. And I'm moving for real. So we got to come to a place that, just like I said with a car, that requires a shift in it. And even though a car has what they call an automatic transmission, the challenge of it is that automatic transmission is not really automatic. If you don't move, that car don't move. Okay. So it is with life. If you don't move, your life ain't going to move. Amen. Now, God will do a whole lot of things for you, but He's not going to do everything for you. Somebody say amen. Amen. So even as we begin talking about this part, we talked about the ideal of being in park already. We talked about the ideal even last week about getting out of reverse. Somebody say amen. Amen. And if you ain't out of reverse yet, you in trouble already. Amen. Now this week we're going to talk about this thing. Say to your neighbor, are you in neutral? Are you in neutral? Are you in neutral? Dr. King, he said it this way, he says, the highest place in hell is reserved for those who remain neutral in a time of great moral conflict. Somebody said the greatest danger to your future is your own apathy. The greatest danger to our own future is our own apathy. Somebody say, I'm hearing this already. This is what neutral means. It means to be non-combatant, non-partisan, to be on the sidelines. It means not to be in the game, but to be around the game. Tell you, excuse me, are you neutral? It means to be inactive, disengaged, to stand by, to be ambivalent. It means to be indifferent, that you become irrelevant. It means to be able to be stuck in a place that you're almost like when you're coming down the highway, people are rubbernecking. You know what rubbernecking is? We so busy watching the accidents and incidents in everybody else's life, we don't have life ourselves. Come on. Say, excuse me. Would you be neutral? And practical, neutral means to be able to go along to get along. Matter of fact, some of us are scared to rock anybody boat. And so we don't see the difference of it is, but our lives don't change just because everything's comfortable. That's right. Matter of fact, some of us prefer to upset nobody. And so much so that we prefer to be politically correct or we prefer to be spiritually obedient. I knew it was going to get quiet. Sometimes we want social agreement so much we don't even operate biblically in obedience. That's called being neutral. All right. We prefer sometimes likes over truth. Sometimes the challenge becomes neutral for a Christian is not an option. Say it with me, neutral for a Christian is not even an option. In case you don't understand what I'm saying, Luke chapter 11, verse 23 says this way, Jesus says, either you with me or you against me. Say, excuse me, you ain't got room to be neutral. Are you for Jesus or are you against him? Are you helping him or are you wounding him? The way we're living, the way we're talking, the way we're loving, the way we're operating, will the work, see, sometimes the world is not impressed with us because we're neutral. We thought you had a conviction. We thought you had a position. We thought you had a confession. We thought you was going to stand, and you would stand regardless of what would happen, but you folded like us. See your neighbor? I knew it was going to be one of them kind of Sundays. Challenge of it is, it's better to fight for something than to live for nothing. Somebody say amen anyhow. Matter of fact, we got to be decision making. Matthew 5 was this way, that even let your communication be yes, yes, or no, no, and anything else is evil. In other words, you know when you should have said no. Don't tell them, I gotta wait till later on. You know you ain't want to go there with them. You know you didn't want to hang out that weekend with them. You don't even like them. You talking about maybe. No, just tell them no. And stop being scared. And stop being so hopeful that you gotta have acceptance with everybody that you put you in a place called neutral. Oh, it won't be one of them days. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let me put it this way. Even when it comes to our convictions and the idea of our intercession, we got to make sure we're praying, even with the right mindset, that I'm not praying hoping and wishing. I'm praying with confidence that God's going to answer my prayer. I don't pray in my prayer closet like, hope you, God, but if it's your will. No, I know it's your will because I'm praying your word. Matter of fact, James put it this way, but don't let a man ask nothing in faith wavering, for he that wavereth is like a man on the sea, driven and tossed. And God is not going to do it for you till you make up your mind. Matter of fact, James says, don't let that man think he's going to receive anything. Okay, we call it the way my neighborhood did it. My neighborhood said this way, why you wish-washy? Why you up and down? Why we can't count on you? Why we can't depend on you? And according to James, James says God ain't going to do it because he don't know where he's going to find you at. He said, let that man think that he will get anything from the Lord, which means if you up today, down today, in the day, out today, you're with it and then not with it. You with it Sunday, but not with it Monday. God, I got the blessing, but I can't even find out where you're going to be at because I don't know if you'll get me confident. And you're walking it out with consistency. Come on. And you might be neutral and don't know you're neutral. Two people said amen. Amen. Tell your neighbor, could you be all in or get out? There ain't no halfway in the kingdom. Ooh, I knew that was going to be a quiet part right there. I knew it was going to be quiet right there. Can I tell you, say neighbor, why are you neutral? The NRA ain't neutral. Why are you neutral? They don't mind giving assault weapons to anybody. They don't mind you buying machine guns and you might can't even drive a car. They ain't neutral. Why you neutral? LBGT, they ain't neutral. Why you neutral? White supremacy, they ain't neutral. Why you neutral? I'm just trying to challenge you for a few minutes to think about why you make excuses not to stand up, say something, take a bold step, and instead of being back and forth, better say, you know what? I can't do neutral anymore. Matter of fact, I found out that the lobbyists in Washington ain't neutral either. I know for good sure that the terrorists ain't neutral. Hey, excuse me, say they, why are you neutral? Home records not neutral. Rap trap stars, they not neutral. They gonna get anything and anybody. They don't care who they use and abuse. Even special interests, they not neutral. The devil and your accuser, he ain't neutral either. The only question to us is, why are we neutral? It's awful quiet and it's going to cost the church. Revelation chapter 3, 15, 16, Jesus says this way, I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot, but I wish that you were either cold or hot, so that because you are that, you are lukewarm, and in neither cold or hot, I would rather spit you out my mouth. Say, excuse me. Jesus got a question for us. Why are we neutral? I knew it was going to be quiet today. I knew it was going to be quiet today. Neutral keeps toning stuff down. Neutral will turn stuff down. Neutral backs down and be quiet where it should stand up. Say amen, somebody. Amen. Matter of fact, what's scary is Jesus says in Matthew 10, if you don't confess me before men, I won't confess you before my Father. In other words, if you don't stand up for me now, I'll sit on down, sit on you later. I know it's like an old-fashioned kind of word, ain't it? It's kind of like old school. I know it might not be on TV, but praise God. Why are you neutral? Why do we go back and forth? Why do we make excuses when really we used to stand up in purpose? Why are we neutral? Neutral. Say neutral. Neutral. I found out this. We can go to the slide because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but I'll start there. Say some of us are neutral due to environments. The Bible says it this way in Scripture. He says, and he came to the cave, lodged there, behold, the word of the Lord came to him and said to him, what are you doing here? Say to him, do anything, neighbor. Why are you here? Why are you here? I mean, in your life. Why are you wherever you are? God every now and then has to check with people because Elijah just got finished having these incredible victories. I mean, incredible, Wayne. I mean, he just got finished making sure a woman that had no money got money. She got a whole barrel full of stuff. Then she got a man, one person, they didn't have a child, they got a child. Successful. I found out you can be successful and still end up neutral. Literally, yesterday, he wiped out 450 prophets. You can be successful one day and neutral the next day. The next day, one woman says, I'm going to kill you. And he starts running. Say, neighbor, I wonder what happened if he would just stood. I found out a couple things. One of them is this, is that just like in the ideal of our life, sometimes the things that happen, neutral is a position where you have an attraction, where you're not present in any movement, don't have any process. Where we end up, my neighborhood used to say you're half step. Okay, y'all, okay. Half-hearted. Okay, my neighborhood, he said you doing stuff half behind. Can I ask you how you're really walking this out? Would you be considered neutral in the eyes of God? Would I be in dry or am I in neutral? Would I be black or am I in neutral? Is this the best to the top, to the all I can get? Is it this or am I really in neutral? You know what's really challenging? Because in neutral, you start slipping. That's how you can locate yourself when you're neutral. You start rolling in places that you would not roll in normally. You have no control over it. You just automatically roll into some places. Matter of fact, you start slipping. That's what the transmission, not you. The transmission starts slipping, and it starts rolling in areas that it should not roll in, and it goes in directions it shouldn't go in, and it's subject to environment. And I know it because of this. Elijah, just the other day, he was doing incredible stuff, but now he's out in the desert, the rampant. Matter of fact, he was suffering from depression. And you can see it because he went from isolation. Something happened. Somebody said something. He ran the wrong direction. Then he drops off the people. It's like, got rid of a servant, ran further. How many people you getting rid of so you can go do the dirt you want to do? Jesus. You might be in neutral, you know what I mean? That you get to the point that you excuse yourself and you get away from the people that will check you so that you will stop me from doing what I want to do. Because if I get around you, you're going to convict me. But I need to find a whole bunch of people that are neutral so I feel good about being neutral. Say praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. So when I found out was this, the Bible says, any man put his hand to the plow looking back, you ain't fit for the kingdom. In other words, if you in the kingdom, act like it. And don't act like nothing else. And stop trying to do this and that at the same time. You're confusing everybody around you. You end up like that car, slipping. Come on. Rolling. Stalling. When you should be moving, nothing's happening. Why? I might be in neutral and didn't know I was in neutral. Two people say amen. Amen. In case you don't know, I'm going to give you the language of neutral. Say the language of neutral. The language of neutral. You ready for it? Here comes the language of neutral. I don't know. It's the language of neutral. Where you going? I don't know. What you going to do? I don't know. Why? You neutral. Neutral is the language of whatever. Whatever. Matter of fact, in relationships, it's whatever you want to do. No, whatever you want to do. Y'all are neutral. Don't either one of you know where you're going. Neutral! We gonna get married? No, we get married. No, we're neutral. We've been in neutral for the last 10 years. The devil is a lie. Praise God. Amen. Neutral says stuff like, it don't take all that. Come on. Hey, why you got no church? Why you got no worship? Why you got to get it? It don't take all that. No, you neutral. That's your problem. That's what you need to tell when they tell you. It don't take all that. No, you neutral. Neutral is the language of I would have, I could have, I should have, but I didn't. It's because you're neutral. You could have and you would have, but you ain't because you're neutral. Here's the neutral statement. I don't want nobody to feel bad. Well, if you don't say nothing and they go to hell, that's worse than you making them feel bad. If you mess up, you don't say something to the woman who knows she got somebody slipping on the side and don't tell her nothing, you're worse. You ain't even a friend. Why you think worse than when you would have told her it. But you neutral.
So good.
Hey, so this is language of neutral. To each their own. Oh. No. You scared. You're scared to tell the truth. You're scared to tell them love. You're scared to say what you're supposed to. Oh, you know what? Here's a good one for neutral people in the church. You know what they say? I don't judge. My Bible says we judge those that are in the house of God. We don't judge those outside. So if you say it, you can judge you. I know you ain't like that, but that's the scripture, okay? So that means that's how we help you. Because if you go off, I want somebody to say, you were off, Pastor Dave, and you're about to jack up your family, jack up your home, jack up your marriage. You're off. Don't you be all neutral. Pastor, you're going to be all right. Wow. You're going to be all right, Pastor. Come on. It's going to be okay. I know Pastor Bird and all the 5 kids, y'all lost the house, lost the car and all that, but I ain't going to say nothing to you. I'm praying for you. You're neutral.
That's right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Say something like, it's just me. No, you won't change.
That's right.
You're neutral.
Amen.
You like having an attitude. You like having that funky mentality. You like having to have your flesh on parade because you're neutral, because you don't want to deal with you. Neutral says stuff like, I hear you, but. Or it says, I know the word, but. No, you're neutral. See, neighbor, I hope you ain't in neutral this week. I hope you ain't in neutral. Say, neighbor, come on out of neutral. Because another word for neutral is settle. Maybe you settle where you are. This might not even where you belong. I believe that's why God was trying to deal with Elisha. Elisha had had this great victory, wiped out 450 prophets. Then he ran to a cave. What are you doing running into a cave? Hiding in a cave when you just killed 450 prophets. Saw fire come down. Now you running from a woman? One woman?
Oh my God.
You're neutral. Tell your neighbor, I'm not going to ask you where you're hiding today. Fear sends him in depression. Depression sends him in separation. Sends him in isolation, sends him into consumption and stagnation, and he begin blame shifting. I'm the only one that's standing for you. Tell your neighbor, you ain't the only one. Let me give you a revelation. Look around. Stop saying you're the only one. You ain't the only one trying to walk this out. You ain't the only one fighting for this stuff. You ain't the only one battling. You ain't the only one mourning. You ain't the only one struggling. You ain't the one fighting. You are not the only one. Unless you want to just, stay neutral. Amen. What's interesting about it is that you will have yourself sometimes. You know what I found out? We think we almost like Willow Smith. You know, she whip her hair back and forth. We do our life back and forth. Don't laugh. Your whole heart is back and forth. That's called neutral. One day I feel this way, next way I feel that way. If you just hold your head up, you know what I'm saying? Stand up and walk up, face some stuff you don't want to deal with. That would be an incredible thing to be able to work with. Say, excuse me, I know you might want to be a Smith, but you're not a Smith. You are you. You don't need to whip nothing. You just need to stand up to a couple things in your word. Because you ain't neutral. I ain't neutral. And I ain't trying to be like that. One of these wonderful spirits says this. It said, drugs don't make me high. Drugs make me neutral. Only for the people that participated in other claims that they know so much that is the truth. There's some stuff I would have never done had I not been on drugs. But the drug made me more neutral than what I already was. Come on, you would have never drove like that, went over there, stayed with them people. No, you became neutral. Pastor, you preaching already today. Even if they, wow, I think it was the best time. Can we go to the next slide so we can help them move forward? Thank you so much, Bird. Look at this. It says this. Neutral means that we choose to be in the middle. Say you choose to be in the middle. So you didn't want to say that. You don't want to get out your mouth. We choose to be in the middle. How you know? Because the PRN, is in the middle. When you neutral, you in the middle. In other words, Elisha, he said, Elisha, go to the mountain, go to the top of the mountain. go. He says, in the cave, not fully, you in the cave, but you're not fully in your calling. That's when you're in the cave. You in the cave, when it's time to come out of neutral, you should be out of the cave. And what the cave stands for is, I'm conforming to what's around me, rather than standing in confidence of who God is. What the cave stands for is, I'm carnal in that area that I won't change. It stands for, I'm close but I'm not committed. I'm comfortable, and I think that this might cost me too much, so I'll stay in the cave.
Come on now.
I'll stay neutral. It means, A means average. I'd rather act like everybody else. V is for, I'm walking around with a victim mentality. God, I'm the only one serving you. I'm the only one going through marriage issues. I'm the only one going through financial stuff. Ain't nobody struggling, ain't nobody dealing with stuff like me. It's only me, Lord. Lie. A bunch of people going through the same thing you're going through right now. They're going through, but they're just choosing not to be neutral while they're going through. Maybe my excuses have excused us so much from stepping up or standing up or showing up. My excuses. Say, excuse me. Have you chosen the cave over your calling?
Over your calling? That's good.
Elisha chose the cave over where he was supposed to be in his calling. God said, go to the top of the mountain. He said, no, I got comfortable right about here. They'll never find me here. I could hide here. I could stay here. I think, watch this. And the reason God shows him the fire, the wind, and all that stuff protected him before, but he got to find something carnal to cover him so he could hide in what he was comfortable in. God. Say, excuse me. Your next place in the kingdom, sure ain't in the cave.
Come on.
Amen. Amen to people. I said amen to people. Yeah, he gonna preach it anyway, so you might as well just go ahead and say amen, because he ain't moving. You go ahead and say amen. I got illumination from this one incident that happened to me this week. A desk car, her transmission stopped. And all of a sudden, God said, hey man, the car stopped. We backed down the highway, parked on the side. And I was like, God, show me what to do with this. He said, no problem. You got AAA. Call AAA. When AAA got there, they came. But I found out something. Where we parked the car at, I had to wait for him to tell me what to do. And what he said was, he says, based on where your car is, I'm going to pull the truck around. Then I want you to get in the car and put it in neutral.
My. Come on.
Oh my God. You see, sometimes we park our landed places.
Well.
And then we drift into what we should. We start slipping, we start tripping, we start stalling, we start going, and we have no control. And we ask ourselves, how did I get here? That's how! You got there because you got neutral. You was in neutral. You let yourself go there. What was really scary was that's the way he got me in. And then when he got to the car place, that's what he said. I'm going to tilt it. And because you're in the environment of my truck, because you're within these rings, it's going to make the car go back. So the environment affected it, me being neutral to the environment. So as long as me and you was in this world but not of this world.
My. Wow.
If you're neutral to what they neutral to, if what they do don't offend you, but it offends God, but it don't bother you, you might be neutral too. You might find yourself slipping and drifting. You might find yourself stalling because watch this, we ended up calling stuff neutral that God's like, that ain't neutral. Two people can say amen right there. So sometimes the environment you park yourself in will affect your mindset and you'll make neutral choices. You'll be saying like this, well, what you think? Now I asked God what he think. But she ain't got a man, I ain't got a man, and I know he ain't no good, but one of us will have a man. And if she neutral and you neutral, you're going to get a man, but that's all you're going to get is a man.
Come on.
Say, neighbor, tell them to go back to the car. Tell them to go back to the car. Go back to the car, Pastor. Go back to the car. They always deal with that. See, whatever you allow will continue in your life simply because you're neutral. You're neutral. We allow some stuff to stay in our lives. Because if you leave, I might have to get a new identity. Come on, if you were always getting beaten on by somebody, and then they leave, then you got to figure out who you are without being hit.
Come on.
If you're always with somebody, I mean, you break up and make up and break up and make up and break up, and you never spend time by yourself.
Come on.
You can't define yourself. Say, hi, how you doing? Oh, you forgot who you went about this week.
Come on.
So then you can define by relationships, but not by yourselves.
Right. Come on.
Say to your neighbor, I'm getting something out of this. I'm not going to be neutral. Love will find a way, but indifferent will find excuses. Love will find a way, but when you're indifferent, you will find an excuse. He says neutral puts you in the wrong place to make you leave people, and you have a wrong perspective. Elijah ended up paranoid and paralyzed because of his own mindset. The woman never touched him. She never saw him. He never saw her. He left everybody, went everywhere, and ended up with nothing. Say neighbor. Yeah. All because he went neutral. Now, what's scary about this text is this. You can go to the next one. Look what it says. It says, and he said, I've been very, and the Lord said, came back to him and said, why are you here? Why are you in neutral? Why are you not on the top of the mountain and you at the cave? God comes back, says, listen here, the children of Israel have forsaken the covenant, they've thrown down the altars, they slain the prophets, and only I am left, it's only me. The Lord said, I ain't even going to pay attention to what all this crying you're doing. He said to him, go, return your way, go to the wilderness of Damascus, then when you will come to Hazael, make him king over Syria, go to Jehu and the son of Nishi, and he says, and then thou shalt anoint the king to be over Israel, and then Elijah the son of Zarephath, and then he says to him, thou shalt anoint him to be prophet in your room. Say neighbor, I know you're not going to like this, but when you go neutral, God got 3 responses for it. Look, first of all, what he says is, since you're going to prophet in the cave, I'll call other people. I know that in church we be like, no, yeah. And check this out. Yesterday, he called fire down, and he being replaced today. Don't you think your miraculous won't make him change his mind? Come on. Our disobedience to him, he's like, no, you got neutral on me. You backed out on me. You backed down on me. You wouldn't stand for me. So I'll find some folk that will stand for me if you don't. So he finds Hazael and says, since you don't want to reign over the territory I gave you, because had he fought with, I believe, if he would have fought with Jezebel, he would have reigned over the territory. So I'll get Hazael to reign if you ain't going to reign. I'll get Jehu, say Jehu. He was a fighter, say fighter. And Jehu, he says, I'll get Jehu because he's a responder. Jehu like to drop fast. And whenever there's a fight, he was the one that God would call a battle and knock somebody down, knock him out. Eventually, he was the one that killed Jezebel. He says, if you won't kill it, I'll find somebody else to kill it. But it should have been your W, but it won't be because she was neutral. I don't want nobody to get a W that was supposed to be mine. No. You were supposed to wipe out that issue in your area or in your family. You were supposed to wipe out poverty. You were supposed to wipe out your broken home. You were supposed to wipe out indebtedness. You were supposed to do it, but you went neutral on me. And when you went neutral, I had to find somebody else that would fulfill the purpose. So you cannot be, I don't even think you can be neutral and spiritual.
Well, come on, Pastor. Come on.
Because see, to be spiritual is to operate with the Spirit. And there's some things that the Spirit is just going to ask you to do, and when you don't do it, you have become neutral and not spiritual. I know this is a tight word, and not only is he out here spiritual, but sometimes like this, if you won't stay neutral, you will not be purposeful in the kingdom. This is Elijah we're talking about. He replaces him because he won't take a stand. He replaces him because he's whipping back and forth, indicate, ain't go, don't show up, don't make my mind up. I want to go back to what I was doing. I want to go back to the people, I want to go back to the place, I want to go back to the things. He says, no, you're not going to have it. I called you for it. No, he wasn't tired. He got sleep, he got rest. Chapter says he wasn't tired. He was neutral. Matter of fact, he got angel food. You go to the verse before that, the Bible says the angels brought him food and water. So you got heaven made food for you. So you weren't tired, and he had slept for a good while. And then they told him, with the strength that we give you, you're going to go in. Now, you can go ahead and go, or you can be neutral. Can I ask you something? Where are you supposed to go that you're neutral with right now? What am I indifferent about? What am I ambivalent about? It means I won't make a decision about it. I know I need to make a decision, but I'm scared to make the decision. And if I make a decision, it's going to cost me something, and cost me some people, cost me some places, and I might have to face it, fight some stuff, but I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do all that. I'd rather be neutral than be intentional. I'd rather be neutral than be purposeful. Tell your neighbor, don't be around a bunch of people like that. Because they'll be missing, slipping, stuck, and still in the same place when you come back 5 years from that. Why? Because they are not going to change. They're not going to shift on their own. Say, neighbor, I hope you're getting this. Look what he says. So he replaces him. He says, I'll get somebody else to reign if you don't reign. I'll get somebody else to respond if you don't respond. And I'll replace your wonderful self with Elisha. Elisha is replaced with Elijah. Why? Because you stayed in neutral. What is the dream that you put in your heart that you won't do? What is the book? What is the plan? What is the business? What is it that he's giving you? But you're still waiting for somebody else to show up so you don't. We neutral. We don't even know we neutral sometimes. Because we're around neutral people, so neutral people don't bother neutral people. If ain't nobody else doing nothing, then it won't bother me if I don't do nothing. Then you get attitude with somebody come around that's in drive. Somebody said, go to their job, and they gonna work on their fishing, they gonna work on their permit. Ain't nobody have time for all that. No, they're not neutral. You're neutral.
That's right.
Talk about going to tell me, talk about going to marry stuff. Well, that's why their marriage ain't jacked up, but you neutral. We be alright. No, you're right. No, you're not.
That's right.
No, you're right. You're neutral.
That's right.
When you could be purposeful, intentional, but you know what? I'll get in the cave. We'll stay in our cave and we won't come out. Say, neighbor, if you can receive this, go ahead and give the Lord a hand clap and praise God. Say, neighbor, I'm not going to be neutral after today. Can't stay there. I can't stay there. I remember one time, sometimes God will allow you to be neutral, but then sometimes God will push you out of neutral. Oh, yes, he will. That's how I know. Because that dude that was at the AAA guy came, I put it in neutral. Then when he saw the car wasn't going to move as fast, he ran behind it and pushed me out of neutral. If you ever had one of those push you out of neutral experiences, it will make you sensitive to the voice of God rather than the hands of God. See, there became a time, I remember after I first got saved, first couple of years, and all of a sudden I was at my uncle's house, and I was like dibbling, dabbling. I would drink on Saturday, I would not drink on Sunday, you know what I mean? I go back and forth, they'd be like, all right, you know, they call for burn at 4 o'clock, what are you gonna do? It's youth service. I think about it, and then I get called from my partner, who's a deacon now in my church, I don't say his name. But anyway, he said, well, we pick you up about 8:30, go to the club, we're gonna get a drink on, get a smoke on, all that. I said, go back. Somewhere around about 6 o'clock, Holy Ghost said, go church. And I was like, I'm about to be neutral. That night, right around the corner from my house, Deacon Doc gets paralyzed because he gets shot right in the stomach. The other 4 partners that I hang out every day with, the bullet went across one of their chests and out their arm. The other bullet stuck in the other person's arm. That was the first thing that happened that night. When I went to go home and tell my family about it, on Rouge Street, opened the door, my uncle was in the hospital. I got to the hospital, found out my mom was in the hospital. I said, excuse me, that stuff will pull you all the way out. I remember crying. I cried all the way home to the hospital. I said, that's it! I'm done with neutral! I will stop playing, I'm gonna stop going back and forth. I'm not Willow Smith, I'm not gonna do that. This is gonna make my mind like that. This is it! I'm gonna give you all of me, not part of me! God, if you save him, you got me! Now you can't make a deal with God. But God, do this.
Come on.
I'm telling you. Because how many people pray that prayer? Lord, if you get me out of this, I know I want to win one. The ones that didn't raise your hand, you're lying. You're lying. Anyway. Child, that night, it was over. That night, they like, you want some drink? No. Why? I'm out of neutral. You ain't going back? No. You serious? No. Why? I'm out of neutral. Why? I was struggling with some stuff, but man, listen, all of a sudden God had pushed me to the point that he pushed me out into a place that was either them or me. My life, you want Elijah, you can't go back to the cave. Either come with me or you're going to be replaced. Excuse me. Bear remorse.
Amen. Amen.
It'll pull you out of neutral.
Yes.
It'll push you out of neutral.
Yes.
You won't even want to think about neutral. It'll scare you out of neutral. And one time I got scared out of neutral. Yeah, I went back to neutral like Elijah did. Don't look at me like that. He had to wake up Elijah twice. So this is my second wake up. I was going home from somewhere I stayed too late. And on my way home, a car came up next to me, and it was like 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. It's coming down Ninth Street. That's how vivid it is to me, Jane. It's coming down Ninth Street. This car came up on the side of me, and we rolled down Ninth Street. Only problem is, Ninth Street is a two-way street. And so it came up behind me, cut in front of me. I remember forgetting 7th Street, cut in front of me. Dude jumped out with a trench coat. He ain't pull out. Now, pray for me because I'm from the hood. He ain't pull out no badge, so I pulled up. Boom! And kept going. You know what? He caught me by Chester High. And we going down 9th Street like this. And I'm looking at him, and he was just breathing all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, God, I will again never go back here again. I'm out of neutral. This will never happen again. We drove all the way across town down a 2-lane street. 9th Street. We went from Central Avenue all the way to Avenue of the States. So we drove like 12, 14 blocks side by side. A car could have came out at any time. And I wasn't stopping because I was scared.
That's right.
I turned to go to the police station. That car went straight on. I parked in front of the police station. I cried. I knew y'all don't have those moments. Y'all delivered the case set free and all that kind of stuff. I said, that's it. So back home, people like, you out of neutral. From that point on, it was all about Jesus. Tell your neighbor, please don't make them chase you like that. Come out of neutral. Come out of indifference. Come out of irrelevance and abilities. Stop acquiescing and going along to get along. You don't even like what you're doing. You just go along just to get along. Say neighbor. I used to like Pastor. I used to like him. I used to like him. He was all right with me. Say to the neighbor, that's just your destiny. There's another thing that happened with family. Move forward real quick. What we saying? What happens? Because sometimes neutral is because we have a need of acceptance. So we end up staying neutral. Are you serious, Pastor? Yes, I am. The Bible says, the serpent said to the woman, surely you shall die. God knows that in that day you will eat thereof, your eyes going to be open, and then you will be as gods knowing good and evil. Then when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, pleasant to the eye, the trees are made her desire, the wise, she took of the fruit, ate the fruit, and ate and gave it to her husband, and he ate it too. You know why Adam ate the fruit? Because he knew. He knew what the world was. He knew what the tree was. He knew what the fruit was. But he still did it. Here's a challenge sometimes. It's scary sometimes. Can I tell you just real quick? For men, one of the things that will make us go into neutral is we have two fears. That we will not be accepted and rejection. You know why people hang out in gangs that they don't even like being in? I want to be accepted. You know why they shoot people when they don't even want to shoot people? I want to be accepted. You know why they chase girls when they don't even really want to chase some girls? They're trying to prove something to somebody else so I can be accepted. And so we don't realize it, but if I would have took a stand and said, no, I don't want to chase nobody, no, I don't want to drink nothing, no, I don't want to smoke nothing, then I would have did it, but I wanted to be accepted. It wasn't even about the problems what we were doing. I just wanted to be in the club. And so we did a bunch of crazy stuff so we could be accepted. And became neutral. Adam is neutral. You know when you're neutral? When you're present and you absent at the same time.
My God.
The enemy is all up in your house and you quiet. And you think quiet is powerful. I ain't gonna say nothing. Well, the devil gonna talk for the rest of the day. The devil is speaking, and he's present, but he's absent. He acquiesces. He's indifferent to the presence of the enemy. He allows it to happen. He goes neutral. It ain't spiritual to be neutral. He should have been fighting him. He should have been standing up. That's my woman. This is my house. Ask for me in my house. We will show him up. No. Go ahead. I see we going in debt. Go ahead. I see we ain't putting no money away. I see, we going. Hey, that's just how our daughter is. That's how our son is. Just, hey, that's no, you're neutral. Wow. You're neutral. Yeah. When you allow stuff to go on and you can stop it, yes. You're neutral. Yes. Say neighbor. I hope we get out of neutral quick. I hope he gets out of neutral quick. I wanted to give you a practical illustration of neutral. I had that too. And so every now and then, pastors get these ideals that come out of nowhere. And because I found out something. I found out sometimes you can figure out whether you're neutral or not. And one of the examples God gave me was a simple one, but it's real tough one. This is when you're neutral. Y'all, this is shoe shine. Right? And the color in the shoe shine thing is neutral. You know what happens when you have neutral? I'm about to show you what happens when you have neutral. Can you get it? Thank you, man. I appreciate it. When you're neutral, you don't even know how much neutrality you have. See right through it. When you're neutral, you don't show up. Oh my God. You present, but you ain't evident in nobody. You're neutral. You're neutral. Come on, man. You're neutral when you should say nothing, but you say nothing. You in the realm, but you don't want to say nothing. You don't want nobody to see you because you don't want to deal with what Adam didn't want to deal with. Adam didn't want to, he was scared of confrontation. Wow. So he went, I can't find you. Adam, where are you? You're neutral. Adam was scared of contention. He didn't want to have to deal with, watch this, the devil or Eve. Good. He didn't want to deal with either one of them. She said, you had me sin, and I'll go ahead and do sin with you? Because I'm scared to be anything other than neutral. And my acceptance makes me have allegiance for you and not allegiance for God. So we have allegiance for friends. So we go do stuff with them that we wouldn't do this morning on Sunday. Because you're neutral. I don't really want to show up. I don't want to stand up. Okay. Because see, when you're not neutral, you leave a mark. I said when you're not neutral, you stand out. When you're not neutral, everybody knows where you at, what you doing, how you living, how you standing, how you loving, how you walking. They know where you at. You know why? It ain't neutral.
So good. Yes. Thank you, God.
Excuse me. If you got that revelation, go ahead and pray. I want my life to show up. I want my marriage to show up. I want my will to show up. I want my way to show up. I want my walk to show up. I want all who I am. I refuse to be neutral. The world is not looking for neutral. Looking for somebody that's willing to stand up, leave a mark. Even if you don't like me, I will contend with you and still love you. I will confront you and still love you. I will deal with it. I got conviction. I'm not going to hide it by being neutral because I got a conviction. Even if you don't like my conviction, it's mine.
Amen.
Adam should have said something. That's right. Saul knew it, but with silent acquiesce. I went along with the sin so I can have fake silence. Because that night when they went home, you knew it wasn't silent. They just lost the garden. They just lost the meaning. Because you wouldn't say nothing. Became neutral. And there's nobody in this world you're supposed to be scared of more than God. He said, don't fear them that are alive. Fear the one that got the hell, the grave. Because you're going to stand before me. And I'm going to tell you, I sent you, but you was neutral. I sent you to make a difference. I sent you to be salt and light, but you was neutral. You watered it down. You made it neutral. neighbor, you can at least speak up.
Speak up.
Show up. Or stand up.
Stand up.
But please, don't keep living neutral.
Don't keep living in this.
We're going to close right here. Jesus, believe it or not, had a moment of being neutral. It's okay for you to have a moment, but you can't have a life. You can have a minute, but you can't have a whole assignment.
Come on.
Even Jesus had a moment where, you know what, he's taking on the weight of sin. He's about to take it, I'm about to go to the head. He's already been beaten. He's going to instruct him with the idea of going to the cross. And he goes, Father, if you could just get this away from me. But I found out that God will meet you in your neutral places.
Amen.
Because if you are, even in that moment, he turns and flips the switch and shifts into drive from neutral and says, if it be thy will, shut up. See, the issue is not whether we're going to have it. It's going to be what you're going to choose when it comes. And are you going to stay there and park there in neutral when you had drive in you? You had drive in you and you did neutral. What he says? He says, appearing to the angel and then he strengthened it. Watch this. Remember what James says? Any man that is wavering, you receive nothing. What's amazing to me is this. The verse says, after Jesus, when Jesus says this, he says, if you be willing to take the cup, nothing happens. But when he says, but if it be your will, forget it. Thy will be done. As soon as he makes his mind up, the angels show up. Let me help you with this. As soon as you come out of neutral, heaven will show up. The angels was waiting for him to come out of neutral, even if it was for a moment. Can you imagine what's on the other side of your neutral? What's on the other side of your indifference? What's on the other side of your acquiescing with stuff you know ain't right? What's on the other? Then he can trust us with more, because I know you won't fold on me. You won't back out on me. You won't quit on me. You won't disappear and run back to the cave on me. You'll have a stand for me. And I trust you. Until Jesus said, Jesus, you know what? You got to get the people. He says, okay, bring him, because I ain't neutral. They pull out his beard, because he ain't neutral. All right? They whip his back wide open. You know why? He ain't neutral. They nail him to the cross, and he hangs there. They say, come down if you're Jesus. I'm sorry, I ain't neutral. Even in pain, you can't participate in neutrality. It may be present, and it may hurt, but if you keep your integrity and your honor, even while you're going through hell, heaven will honor you. Heaven will raise you up like never before, cause you to be set up on everybody else. They be trying to figure out, how did you get that job? I'm neutral. I didn't bend. I didn't compromise. I didn't lower my standard. I didn't back up. I didn't back down. And everybody said, how did that happen? He rose me up. So I don't know where you are as you stand. I don't know what's going on in your life. But I know you heard God this morning. I know it was challenging, and I know it probably made you think like, oh God, I got to deal with some stuff. Good. Don't be neutral. Neutral will keep you drifting. It'll keep you wavering. And it hinders God from blessing you. Say, neighbor, this was for me. Right now, this is not even about you. Whatever place that you've been neutral, this might be a good time to drop it off.